Hello guys, welcome to Live Ed where education comes alive, and welcome to part 2 of our two-part lecture on writing professional emails. This is your trusted instructor, Mustafa. Now, in the first part of this lecture, I introduced you to the topic. I showed you an example of a bad email. Then I introduced you to the 7 email contexts, the 7 reasons why, or the 7 main reasons why we write emails. Then I discussed with you 2 of these 7 situations in detail. Now, in this part 2, we are going to look at the 5 remaining email contexts, then go back to that bad email that we looked at in part 1 and make it better. Then we are going to finally conclude this lecture. So let's get on with it. Situation number 3, or the third email context, the third reason why we write email is to ask for permission. Asking someone in authority, a manager, to allow us to do something. Maybe an early vacation, or maybe leave the office early for some reason. Let's take this example. You discovered that you have a situation, you need to leave the office earlier than usual to attend to this situation. So you can speak to your manager personally about this, or you can write them an email asking them to allow you to leave the office earlier. You can say, can I leave the office earlier today, after, of course, presenting the situation and explaining the reason why you want to leave. But you can also make your email politer and more professional by using expressions like, once again, I was hoping and I was wondering if. Now here, instead of using you, like we did in the previous situation when we talked about favors, I was wondering if you could, I was hoping you could. Here we're going to use I. I was wondering if I could leave the office early today. I was hoping I could leave the office early today due to 1, 2, 3 reasons. After presenting the reasons, you can come back to them again. Also, you can use expressions like, would it be okay? Would it be okay for me to leave the office earlier today? Would it be okay for me to take an early vacation? Do you think you can is another expression, asking your manager to allow you to do something. Do you think you can let me go earlier today? Do you think you can let me go on an early vacation? Do you think it would be possible? Would it be possible for you to let me leave early? Would it be possible for you to allow me to take an early vacation? And do you think it would be possible? So once again, I was hoping I could. I was wondering if I could. Would it be okay if I? Do you think it would be okay if I? Or do you think you can let me do 1, 2, 3? Situation number 4 is making a suggestion, suggesting something, presenting an idea. You're sitting in a group at a meeting, for example, and you want to suggest something for the team to do. You don't want to say, we should do 1, 2, 3. Again, this sounds very dry and it sounds very arrogant. You know, it's like you think you're better than everyone else and telling everybody else, your peers, that they should follow your order. Of course, they have no obligation to meet your demands and to follow or to obey what you're saying. Let's imagine the situation is, let's say you are a part of a sales team and you want to suggest canceling a contract with one of your clients because the client is problematic, perhaps they're rude, and plus they're not bringing the company profit. They're not bringing a lot of business to your department. So, of course, you can begin by presenting the reason why you think this should be done. You say customer ABC is very problematic, the person is very rude, and plus they're not bringing us any business. So what about, see, instead of saying we should do it, what about if we? Now here you're suggesting, you're making your idea sound soft, you're presenting it in a professional way. What about if we cancel this person or this client's contract because of so and so. Of course, you've already stated the reason. So what about? I was thinking we should do this. We should cancel. I thought it might be a good idea. Now, this is really good. This is a really good opening line for presenting an idea. I thought it would be a good idea for us to cancel because of 1, 2, 3. Do you think we could cancel this person's idea? Wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it be better if we canceled this client's contract? Now, this again is so much better than saying, let's cancel. I think we should cancel. We should cancel. These are very direct and very arrogant ways of presenting your ideas. But instead, you should say, what about if we cancel the person's contract? I thought it would be a good idea. Perhaps we could. So these are very nice, soft, gentle, and professional ways of introducing your idea, of introducing your suggestion. I thought it would be a good idea if we cancel this client's contract. Situation number 5 is very sensitive stuff. Refusing someone's offer, rejecting somebody's offer, rejecting somebody's idea. This can be very sensitive. If you tell somebody, for example, after presenting their idea to you, even if they're reporting to you, if you tell them, that is a horrible idea. You guys remember from our sample email from earlier when I told the IT manager that his suggestion was bad. See, that's very, very rude, and it could cause a great misunderstanding and a lot of problems going forward. How do you soften the blow of your rejection? How do you take the edges off your refusal? Let's take 2 specific examples. Example number 1 is telling somebody in your team that their idea is bad. They present you an idea and you don't think it's a good idea. Instead of telling them this is a bad idea, you can say something like, I don't think that this idea would work. Perhaps you can even say, I appreciate your effort, I appreciate your thought, your contribution, but I don't think that this idea will suit our purpose, or I don't think that this idea will be perfect for the solution we are looking for. So that's one scenario. The other scenario is a company makes your company an offer. So this is a business-to-business kind of a communication. And they make you an offer and they quote their price or something to that effect. They are offering you a service, and for that service, they quote you a specific price. So instead of saying, no, this price is too high, we're not going to do any business with you. Of course, here you risk losing that company completely, and you risk presenting yourself in a very negative light. So again, here you can say something like, I'm not sure if we can proceed further with this given the price that you have quoted. I don't think that this price that you've quoted suits our budget, or something to that effect. Now see, you have really softened the blow of your rejection. It is not as blunt and as rude as it were if you said, this price is too high, we're not going to buy this. So, or we're not going to go with this service. So here, we looked at 2 examples, telling somebody, rejecting someone's idea, someone from your team, even if you're the manager, rejecting their idea in a nice, soft way by telling them, I don't think that this idea is suitable for us at this time, after thanking them also for their contribution. And the second example is declining the quote, or asking the company that you're communicating with to revise their price by telling them, I don't think that we are ready to pay this much for this service, or something to the effect of, this price is not suitable for us. I'm not sure if we can go on with this given this price. So this is about refusal and rejection. It's about making your rejection or your refusal sound much softer. Your email, your refusal, your rejection email, using these techniques will become softer, much more polite, and much more professional. Situation number 6, our second last situation, our second last topic of today's lecture. Letting someone know that they have made a mistake. Again, guys, this is very sensitive. Telling somebody that they made a mistake can sometimes be hurtful if the right words are not properly and carefully selected. It can cause problems going forward. It could cause some animosity, some hostility, some bad chemistry between you and the person you're communicating with. So someone made a mistake and you want to point out to them their mistake in a very gentle, professional way. You guys can think back to our example, the previous example, the bad sample that we looked at, my email to Igor, the IT manager. I told him that he has made a mistake. I pointed out bluntly that he has made a mistake, and that is absolutely wrong. One thing we can say here is, in this context, that softens the tone of our email, that softens the way that we point out the mistake, is it looks like, dear so-and-so, after reviewing your suggestion or your report, it looks to me like you have made a mistake in so-and-so part, and you specify the part. Now, this is also helpful because sometimes you could think that the person has made a mistake, but it's actually you who made a mistake. So if you point out the person's mistake in a rude way, they can come back at you in an even ruder way and tell you that, no, it's you who made the mistake. And then from then on, you can see how things can escalate. So by playing it safe, by using these safe professional expressions, you're also saving yourself the embarrassment if, in fact, you are the one who made a mistake. So it seems to me, it looks like you have made a mistake, not you made a mistake. Here, you want to leave the door open for possibilities, for other possibilities, and you want to be okay in the future in case you are the one, in fact, who's made a mistake and not the person you're communicating with. So after reviewing your article, your report, the situation, it looks to me that you made a mistake. It seems like you have made a mistake. Please check it and let me know if I'm actually being accurate, if I'm correct, and you leave the door open for more professional replies, for the flow of the communication to go on in a favorable way. So it looks to me like you've made a mistake, or it seems that you made a mistake in so-and-so part regarding so-and-so situation. And now we come to the last situation, guys, the last topic in our lecture today on how to write professional emails, and that is checking on the status of an order or request that you have made, following up on the order or request you have made. Let's imagine that you've sent someone in your company or in a different company a request to do something, or you've sent them an order, you've asked them to do something, and you want to check the progress they've made. Some days have passed, and you now want to see if they have in fact managed to finish that request, or where the request stands at this point. Starting your email with a direct question like, did you finish the report? Did you finish the request I asked you to process? Is again very rude and very direct. You can change that by using the magical expression of, have you had the chance to? Dear so-and-so, with regards to the request that I made a couple of days ago, I was wondering if you had the chance to finish it, if you had the chance to process it, if you had the chance to review it. I was wondering if you had the chance to. This is a magical phrase, guys, a magical way to get someone to look favorably upon your request, to respond to you as soon as possible, and to let you know where your order stands, the status of your order. I was wondering if you had the chance to do so and so, to process, to review my request. Right, guys, so we are back to our blank screen again. We are going to reproduce the old email right here. This is the old email, guys, you will remember. Once again, hello Igor. This is the bad example. My email account is still down, and I'm unable to use it to send and receive messages. A big part of my job is being obstructed as I am unable to communicate with any of my clients. This is a very big problem that needs to be resolved right now. Your idea to reinstall the system proved to be very bad and ineffective, and I believe that an IT specialist must be present in my office to fix this issue. I need you to send one of your team members to my office right now, even if they're busy. So this was a disaster, basically, guys. Now let's look at the better version, which is right here. Our better version is right here, guys. Hello and good day to you, Igor. As you can see right off the bat, this is a better email already. Hope you're having a good day so far. My email account is still down despite the notable efforts that have been made to fix it. You see here, I've added this note here to thank him for what he's already done. A big part of my work remains obstructed as I'm still unable to communicate with any of my clients. I didn't change much here. Given the size of this issue, I was wondering if you could take time from your busy schedule to address it. I've tried to reinstall the system as you've kindly suggested, and it seems that the problem persists. See here, I told him that his idea is not bad. I told him that, I tried, it was kindly suggested, but still the problem continues. I thought it might be a good idea for an IT specialist. See here, guys, we use this technique. I thought it might be a good idea. I'm asking him for a favor to send one of his people for an IT specialist to be present in my office in order to resolve this issue. And I was hoping that you could instruct one of your team members to do just that. I cannot emphasize enough the severity and urgency of this issue, and I would therefore be immensely grateful if you would take swift and decisive action to resolve it. Awaiting your response. Thank you. So as you guys can see, this is obviously a much better sample, a much politer sample, and a much more professional sample. So this exactly is what we did with whatever we learned today, the information, the knowledge, the tools, techniques. We have applied some of them here. Of course, here we didn't ask for permission and stuff like this, so we didn't use all of the context that we talked about, but you get the general idea of how your emails look when you apply professional and polite language to them. That's it, guys. That's it for this lecture. Thank you so much for watching and for paying attention. Don't forget to check out our live ad website. The address is under the video. I wish you guys a great day and see you soon.